What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla SPY in the overall market. I'm also going to talk about a big update for the Cybertruck that just came out. But just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Webull link. If you deposit any amount of money, you're guaranteed 12 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 in total. And deposit $25,000 or more, and you're guaranteed 75. The offer ends in just 10 days. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with Tesla. Looking at Tesla, we're on a bit of a downtrend right here. We're looking a little bit lackluster compared to how we were looking like last week. But Tesla's still trying to base at 217. If anything, it looks like Tesla's been range bound between 215 and 220 for the day, and the range is going to likely hold for the rest of the day, even approaching tomorrow. But despite that, I do want to call out a piece of news that's worth noting. We have this news right here that Tesla's enabling FSD transfers for the Cybertruck, and here are the details. So, Tesla's enabling the ability to transfer FSD from a vehicle to the Cybertruck for the first time, allowing owners who purchased FSD on a previous car to transfer the suite to an all electric pickup. That's very, very cool stuff, in my personal opinion. Now, this is going to be very useful because it does save people a lot of money in a way. Because before, Tesla would require owners to purchase FSD outright when buying a new car. But now they're doing something very different. Tesla's decided that they're going to listen to what a lot of people have said in the past, and they're offering FSD transfers for the first time. And now, if anything, they're going to be available in the Cybertruck as well. So, very, very cool stuff. I also think that by expanding this technology, and could incentivize a lot more sales. And then they could also incorporate this in many of their different lines, such as their different vehicles, not to mention the Tesla semis. So I think it's going to be very, very useful. But by transferring it like this once again incentivizes more sales. It's very, very good news. And I can't wait to see what else the Cybertruck could do as time goes on. So will the Cybertruck be fully autonomous? Well, Musk did answer that question during Tesla's Robotaxi event. He basically said that all of their vehicles will have these capabilities. But then, when asked about Hardware 3, Musk said that he didn't want to go over all the nuances. But he's basically talking about all like the newer models. They should be able to incorporate FSD. And that is what the Cybertruck is going to be able to do, not to mention the fact that it has the potential to become autonomous as years go on. So, yes, it's going to take many years for Teslas to become fully autonomous. We're not quite there yet, but there's a lot of work being made, a lot of progress, and I think it's very cool that Tesla is using different methods for people to transfer their technology. So very, very cool stuff in my opinion. Besides that, for the news, there's not really a whole lot else that's coming out. We do have some manufacturing numbers at 10 o'clock a.m. For tomorrow, but there's nothing else that's too significant, at least for close or even what's happening tomorrow morning. So usually I give you guys a warning about what happens the next day because sometimes we do have big data before market open, but in this case, there's nothing like that. That's why it's going to be very quiet. So what do I see for Tesla? Like I said, it's a little bit lackluster. We're looking at that 217 support. If it does not hold that, we're looking for 215 again. It's still shuffling, stuck within a range, so give it some time. There's going to be a massive move once we get our earnings. So we're just waiting for that in just 2 days. Otherwise, Tesla remains like this. Now for SPY, I want to call out that we're barely holding our 20 EMA at this 582.2 area. That's our 4-hour 20 EMA. If we hold this, there is potential for us to try to bounce tomorrow. If we lose this and we can't hold above this, we could be retesting the lows in the 580 area. So we will see if SPY could hold this support or not. Be very patient. We're barely holding on to it. So we will see if this holds. That's going to be pivotal for the way SPY moves moving forward. We'll see how it closes, especially approaching tomorrow. I do want to mention that ES is showing a little bit more weakness. It's below its 20 EMA. So this has potential to dip closer to 58.80. We'll see if SPY follows that trend or not. For Nvidia, I mentioned to everyone that Nvidia has tough resistance above 140, but it's still looking bullish. And I told you, as long as we hold above 140, we're looking for 142.5 as our target, which is where Nvidia has gone to. So we did call out Nvidia pushing more. It still remains bullish, but just be careful at these higher levels. Our next target is going to be 144, but just know that I'd still be careful with this as we are breaking past 140. The last time that happened, it did reject. Bitcoin had this support at 66,971. I mentioned to you all, if we held this, we're looking for a rebound. If we lost this, we're looking for a bigger dump back down to the lower imbalance. As of right now, Bitcoin's getting bought back up. It's approaching the 67,500 area. So we'll see how things go from here. For NQ is continuing to shuffle around 20,500 to 20,000 300. So we're just stuck in the middle. We are trying to hold our 20 EMA, but for now it's just range bound. So we have 20,500, this range is our resistance, and our support's at 20,300. We're just going back and forth and back and forth. I'm going to give this more time to develop before making a claim. Same thing with the QQQ. We're actually holding support quite nicely thanks to Nvidia. So this has potential to push back up to about the 496 area if 494 holds. So far, this is doing a little bit of a better job than that of SPY, showing some strength as Aapl and Nvidia are holding it up. But for Aapl, be careful, guys. We're at resistance around 236. If we got a rejection here, we'd be dipping back down to this imbalance, back down to 233. If we broke this, we would have started to push higher. With this tough resistance, there is a risk of this dipping a little bit lower. So just be careful as Aapl is at, Apple's at resistance. For the IWM Russell 2000, we have 222 as our main support. We're starting to lose that, so it could get closer to 220 if that fails us. We're doing a good job at holding 222 or very close to that range. So we'll see how the IWM does. It does look a little bit weaker here. It is still holding support, but there is still that risk of a little bit more downside. For Amazon, we're getting bought back up, holding 187 very nicely. Could be approaching 189. For Meta is also kind of dipping a bit. We're looking to see if this holds. I mentioned to everyone that 570 is going to be coming, but I do want to call out that with 570 already being made, there is a falling wedge forming on Meta. So it could be a falling wedge. This depends on if we end up holding support and if we continue to respect this. So this could lead to a big shift as time goes on and a big bounce. We'll see how this wedge ends up developing and what this leads to. But this is what I'm seeing, at least on the chart thus far. There's this falling wedge. If we break out of this, we're looking for 580 as our targets. If we break the wedge, if not, we could continue to fall. But watch this wedge very, very carefully. For Microsoft, we remain range bound between 414 and 420. It's going to likely continue to shuffle within that range, but I still see potential to try to push for 420. Google's also trying to push. We could be looking for 166 all over again, or maybe a little bit above that. So I'm seeing potential in Google. With that being said, guys, as far as the market goes, we're going to be watching to see how we close to see if SPY holds its key support. Some tech stocks are getting bought back up, and Tesla, of all things, is still a little bit lackluster as we're barely holding 217. So, with that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. There's not really much coming out overnight, but don't forget that tomorrow is going to be the last basically full day until we have Wednesday, which is going to be the day of Tesla's big announcements, their big earnings. It's going to be after market close on Wednesday. So we technically have 2 days left of trading until earnings comes out. So get ready, guys. Do what you have to do, and I'll be back in a couple of hours to give you guys one final update of the day. That's going to be a lot more meticulous. Until then, thank you all so much for listening. I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll be back in a few hours just to give you guys one more update. Thank you for listening. Tesla to the moon. The long term is still very bright with these new FSD updates. But for the short term, things could still be very nuanced. All right. So I'll see you soon and peace out.